What's up, YouTube? We're back working on this Kawasaki KX125, and in the last video, the engine was out of this and it was in a million pieces in a box. So we rebuilt the engine, got it running, but there's still plenty left to do that I didn't do in the last video. One easy thing is this. But also, you can see we have a new head pipe on here. My buddy came over, installed that for whatever reason. But we have to dive back into this engine because we're missing some crucial parts, which would be our clutch. Okay, so we got a new clutch kit. We got springs, carb kit. This is the OEM outer hub. Got a new air filter. And these parts, I had ordered this inner hub OEM, but then I guess they don't make it anymore. It's back ordered. So once I found that out, I hit up Matt at AZ Quad Parts. You know, ironically, this is not a quad, right? But I hit him up. I said, hey, I need these, I need some parts for this machine. I need a clutch. So he hooked it up. So if you guys ever need any parts, be sure to go check out their eBay or their website. If you don't see what you need on their eBay or their site, give them a call. I don't even think they had this on their site, and I told them what I needed, and here we are. So this is a Wiseco clutch basket. The clutch basket on this machine is really grooved, and this is I think like 250 bucks. So this is a pretty hefty piece. I can't remember how much this was. I think this was like 100, maybe 60. I can't remember. I think this piece was 100 as well. I don't know. But anyways, we're gonna have a 100% brand new clutch. So first thing we need to do is tilt the bike over because the oil is probably most likely still good. It's only got 30 minutes of run time on it, and we haven't even, you know, put it in gear, which on a 2-stroke, the oil is only for the transmission. All right, so it's been sitting on the side for a while now, so hopefully all the oil has drained to the other side. Beautiful. Next, we'll take all our spring bolts out. Now we can do this outer hub plate guy. Make sure not to lose. Oh wait, guess that stays in on this thing. Gotta make sure we don't lose this ball bearing here. Great, it just went down here in the clutch, which is fine, I guess. You can see that ball bearing right there. We don't want to lose that. Okay, so next we can use our clutch holding tool here. This is a Motion Pro. If I have a link, I'll put it down in the description. Now this is 27mm right here. And let's just give her the Ugga Duggas. Yeah, love that. Okay, there's our outer, or our inner hub. I guess that's what that's called. This washer was behind it, so make sure we don't lose that. Now our basket should just pull right out. So this is the gear that we need to take off. Actually, this whole entire thing right here, it looks like. So I think we have to drill out all these rivets. I'm not 100% sure. I guess we'll figure that out here. Okay, so I'm not really sure yet, but what I think is this has to be pressed out, and then we have to drill all these. Now, I'm not 100% sure until we get this off, because this is just press fit, maybe? I'm not sure. I don't think this gear is part of this gear. So I guess let's drill these out first and see what happens.
Rolled into my shop, just a pile of parts, a beat up old KX with a racing heart. 03 Kawasaki 125, dreams blown
Okay, I drilled all the rivets out. Or I didn't drill them all the way out, but I drilled them enough to where the heads are off. So this should pop off right here like this. And there's a washer. So we need to make sure we have that. And this should pop off. Look at that. That's a cool looking gear. That'll look good on the wall, but this one's good. So they go on here. But what we need to do first is try and get this gear out. I am pretty sure, I don't know, the instructions here say to heat it up. Okay, so this is what I got. This is not what we should be using, or I don't know, it might work. See, this fits perfectly on there, so the gear can drop through. This is the socket that fits perfectly there. So let's heat up this aluminum part here, see if we can hammer it out. Okay, I see lots of smoke. Let's try this here. Woo! Went right through. Look at that. Damn, brother. There's that washer they were talking about. Got it set to 400. All right, let's see if we can do this real quick. Oh, man. She got stuck. Well, let's go take this out in the shop real quick. That gear is finally on. Probably not the most bestest way to do it. I'm sure people in the comments are gonna, you know, roast me. Only a couple little scratches on the inside. That's all minor. So now what we can do is get our other pieces. These guys. Okay, so if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and subscribe because I got all kinds of projects like this. And if you need parts, whether it's clutch parts, engine parts, big bore kit, piston, be sure to look up AZ Quad Parts. I'll put it in the description and in the pinned comment down below. They got everything you need, most likely. And like I said before, if you don't see it on their site or eBay, be sure to email them or call them at this phone number. Let them know what you need, and they should get you hooked up. Let them know I sent you. Real Jesse Peters. All right, so that's enough. Plug. I'm just gonna put some more red Loctite on here, just in case. Okay, I have our finest torque wrench from Harbor Freight here, and we're gonna make sure these are all torqued, 80 inch-pounds. Come on now. All right, Wiseco, you better step it up. Stop sending this wee-ha. That's BS. What size is this? 3mm? It literally doesn't even say what size it is. Okay, they're all torqued down. Now, next thing they want you to do is use a punch and peen them. You know, kind of freaking make a dimple and kind of really lock them together. Now, okay, so now it's time to install the clutch basket. Drop it in. in just like that. And if we remember, this washer went here. All right, so next goes on our new, what do they call this? Inner clutch hub. Isn't that what I called it earlier? All right, so this is Pro X. It's supposed to be a good brand. Looks pretty identical. They even got the little marks back here and everything. All right, let's see if it slides on. Look at that. Look at it. Okay, now that's on. We need to get our clutch tool here. Tighten that up. This gets a washer. Make sure that's on the splines correctly. This is a splined washer. And then here comes our nut. I don't know. That's got a lock thing built into it. I'm not looking at the spec. We're giving the Ugga Duggas. So our ball bearing is in here still. Thought this was stuck in the other piece, but I guess it was only stuck in there from the oil. So ball bearing's in there, everything's good. See the ball in there. Bing, bong, boom. Now we can install our clutch plates. Now they are soaking in this oil.
Here's one of those. Here's steel, fiber, steel, fiber, steel, fiber, steel, fiber, steel, fiber, steel, fiber.
Look at that. Beautiful clutch. Now this outer piece was still available from Kawasaki, so I imagine maybe they're using this piece on some other machines still or something. I don't know. Totally a guess. So here's our outer pressure plate. There's that. Our brand new springs. Tighten up these spring bolts. Torque them down. Uh-oh. Okay, these are all torqued. Now all we gotta do is put our cover back on. Okay, so in the last video, everyone was hating on me because I rebuilt the whole engine and didn't clean out the carburetor. That's because I was running out of time. So, and I did clear out the jets. I did check the jets. They were clear. So anyways, I have a full rebuild kit. Let's pull this apart. And I'm probably going to have to rejet since we did a 144 big bore kit. Okay, so the carb is actually pretty clean. Looks like there's some old gas in there, sludging up a little bit. And really this gasket's not that bad, but we do have a rebuild kit. Now, our float height is way off, and it could be something to do with our needle because the needle's got like a little, like this should have some tension right about there, like between here and here, but it's just flopping all around because there's a little, I'll show you on a needle. Okay, so this is the needle. And this is where our float bowl or our float attaches to. And see this little guy right here? See how it has spring? It springs up. I think that's bad on our other one here. It's either that or the float height is completely incorrect. Interesting. This is also a metal tipped needle. Okay, so that, I think the metal tip needle might be what our problem is. I've never seen that. So luckily, the kit comes with a new seat and needle. So these should make it so it doesn't overflow out of the carburetor. So to get the seat out, all we do is take this little screw out right here. It should slide out. Why is it not coming out? It's making me nervous. There we go. Finally came out. So here's our new seat. It's gonna go in just like this right here. Just like that. Okay, so this is a 420 and a 42 Pilot, 420 main, and our new kit comes with those as well. You know, our jets are clear, but anyways, I'll install the new ones anyways, I guess. Okay, here is our air fuel mixture screw. Take this out. I think we got a whole new screw. See that spring? Since this is on this side of the carburetor, this is an air fuel mixture. If it's on this side, it's a fuel enrichment screw. So when it's on this side, it looks like it does not have an O-ring. So we'll just throw this in here. Half, 1.5. That's a good starting point. Maybe 2 turns is a good starting point as well. I was really hoping it was going to have a new idle screw, because this one is all the way in and it was really having a hard time idling. Okay, here's our new needle. Goes on there like that. And this goes on. Now this goes into this splash guard. How's this go? Okay. Throw this pin in. Let me tighten up this screw. Yeah, it seems better now. You can feel right here, it has that, you can feel the spring. It also helps that it's not a metal tipped needle. Maybe this had rubber on it at once, I don't know. Okay, new bowl gasket. And luckily our kit came with new bowl screws, which is awesome, because the old ones were looking rough. Take our little access port out here. Now there's a dude in the comments, Alcohol Dragon, Alky 72mm Alky Dragon guy. He was trying to say, Mikuni carburetors, you can't do main jet and pilot jet at the same time through this hole. Well, there you go, my friend. You can. So we're gonna take off this O-ring here. Well, it's a good thing we were doing that, because this thing is toast. Now we could install this new needle, but I'd rather not. It's not exactly a wear item. And this O-ring, I don't know where this O-ring went. Maybe on the choke here? I don't know where this O-ring would have gone. Guess we can take the choke off and see. What do y'all think? I think that's where that goes. Okay, so that's our rebuilt carburetor. Now the only thing we just to do is, you know, put the slide back in with this new gasket, and then we'll see how it runs. All right, so I've done lots off camera here. I got it all fueled up, and that gas tank is actually a lot larger than it looks. It took an entire 2 gallons of fuel, and I had tested, I put the carburetor back on, and I tested the float level, and of course now it's leaking ever so slightly. So I need to pull that back apart. I put the air filter on, put the chain on, shifter on. So what we're gonna do is get this thing fired up, see how it runs, and then we're gonna go from there. I got 2 fresh spark plugs, and I was gonna go take it to this field or old construction site, but looks like that's not happening today. So I guess we'll just see how it runs for now. So I have not ran this machine since last video. So, and I also haven't done it with this new pipe on it, which it shouldn't sound any different or anything. All right, let's see. Choke. Choke. Look at that. Okay, I was running it with the choke on for a second there. This thing is running really good. Now, one thing I don't understand is I have this idle all the way in. I mean, it's idling now, but see, it comes back down to that lower idle, which it doesn't shut off, but I don't know. Looks like our rear chain slider left the chat here. Okay, so now the engine is plenty warm. We're gonna swap in a fresh spark plug. This is a BR9 ES. Now, I looked it up on the internet and they were suggesting an iridium plug, but that's just too much damn money. So let's swap the plug out real quick. We'll see what this one looks like, and then we'll run it with this for a little bit and see where our jetting is at. Okay, here's our old plug, which it's black. This was in there before. It was a B8ES. That R means resistor. That's in that one, BR8ES. I think I put a 9 in it, BR9ES. Anyways, we'll see what happens. I mean, I've never had a two-stroke that didn't have a black spark plug. So I guess we'll see what happens here. I'll run it for a little bit. We'll start up, run it for a little bit. See what the spark plug looks like. So I'll let it run like that for a little bit. Just kind of revving it quarter to throttle. That should give us an idea of where our pilot jet is at. If we're too rich, too lean. But like I said, I've never really had a two-stroke that didn't have a black spark plug. So I'm sure someone else can get these better than I can. But hey, to me, if it's black and it runs good, whatever. Okay, so this is where we're probably at after running it for, I don't know, 5 to 8 minutes. And I don't know, it's wet, but it's not brown or black, it's still white, which seems kind of self-contradicting, you know. If it's wet, that means it's getting lots of fuel, which means it should be black. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you have a KX125 with a 144 kit, where is your jetting at? Okay, so I did some research, and one guy says he had a 35 pilot and like a 370 main, which 370 seems a little small to me, but you know, when you have a big bore kit, you're creating more vacuum, which means you're pulling more fuel in, so you do typically have to lean out the jets a little bit. So it's probably different than you would initially think. Okay, so you can see I have the carburetor tilted, and all I need to do is loosen our fuel bowl drain nut. It's a 17 millimeter. And that new O-ring is holding everything in. Let's see. Okay. Now this carburetor does not have a drain hole on it. So, anyways, look right there. We can get our pilot, right? So if you look right there, there's our main jet. And then way in there is our pilot. So we'll swap those out. Okay, new jets are in. Fuel's been on for a second here, so carbs should be full. Let's see what we got now. Okay, so maybe we did something right. Look at this. It kind of looks really black in the video, but it's brown. It's, you know, seems to be running good, but you know, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on when it's just, you know, sitting here idling or, you know, running static, and it doesn't, you know, doesn't have a dynamic load on it. So hopefully tomorrow, as long as the weather holds up, I can go take this thing out and see how it runs. Real shitty. All right, so I'm not sure what the synopsis is here of the jetting. I've richened it and then it ran like crap. I put like a 400 main jet in it and it ran like crap, but then the spark plug was nice and brown. And then I put it back to the 370, or maybe I put a 380 in now, and it runs pretty good. It does break up a little bit. I think the Chinese jets I'm using, you know, I think they just give you like 3 different sizes and then mark them different, which everyone's gonna talk crap, but hey, the Keihin Chinese jets work just fine. So maybe I'll order some Mikuni OEM jets and see where it goes. It's not too bad right now. You know, the average guy probably think it runs just fine. But let me know down in the comments if you have a KX144 with this Mikuni carburetor, what your jetting is. All right, so we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Also, look me up on TikTok and Instagram. I post up there all the time. You can see what I'm working on.
Real Jesse Peterson finds in the rough. Dirt bikes, quads, beat up stuff. Marketplace gap.